What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. My name is Tam, and today we're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle card game coming to the Universes card game. The goal of this is we're going to be breaking out and talking about each and every card from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set in a large series called First Looks. I'm going to be breaking down and looking at every single symbol for the turtles. And so, with that said, starting with the characters, we're going to go through each character, and it'll make sense as you watch YouTube, but so on and so forth. Up next, we've got Leatherhead, Eager Expat. 6 hand size, 30 health character. It's got the fire and water symbol, mutant keyword. It says first form, colon, which means it has to be the very first thing that you do on your turn. Ready, review, draw. During your ready step, into the combat phase, the first thing that you do is activate the ability of Leatherhead. Add the top card of your deck, or top card of your rival's deck to their card pool face down. If they have 10 or more foundations, add the top 2 cards of their deck to their card pool face down instead. So, on my turn, all of their progressive difficulty is +1 because they've got a card in their card pool. They have to deal with that. And then, as the game is naturally progressed, if they've got 10 or more foundations, it's now they've got +2. So, like, all my moves get +1 speed essentially, or +2 if they've got 10 or more. This character's very, very good. It's +1 speed on everything, and it like forever. You don't have to like constantly press the button. You're allowed to commit your character to make it happen. It feels kind of cool. And then, response discard a card after an attack is not blocked. It gets +1 or -1 damage for each card in your rival's card pool. So, let's look at it on our turn. I'm putting a card in the card pool, and then let's say they block a couple moves. They block 2 moves. I can then take and discard cards after my rival is out of blocks to now give +3 damage to my moves later on. Or even better, I think, let's pretend that my opponent is playing their third move, and they're playing a 20 mid for 3 to close out the game. Well, I'm allowed to respond, and after an attack is not blocked, mine or my rival's, I'll discard it. They have 3 cards in their card pool. It deals 0 damage. And so Leatherhead kind of turns every card in her hand into like a mini deflect, which I think is really, really potent and a piece of defense that we haven't really seen inside of the game. Of like, yeah, I can block with all these cards, but also they definitely are useful on defense just because of the amount of damage reduction that Leather has access to. Very cool to see how the water symbol is shaping up. I'm excited to see what I'm able to do with Michelangelo. Up next, I've got Raphael the Muscle, 6 hand size, 32 health. He's got the fire and good symbol, brawler, and mutant keywords. It says enhance this attack gets +1 or -1 speed for each attack in your card pool. Very cool. The more that I play attacks, the faster my moves get so that I can hit you hard later. As well as if I block with cards if I block with attacks, you know, the things that I don't want to do, I'm going to get a bonus by them giving -1 speed. So, block with a bunch of stuff. And then enhance discard your hand, colon, your fury attack gets +4 damage, period. This is a really interesting ability, and on face, kind of looks bad. But it does present a bit of a mini game of, once you've discarded your hand to get that +4 damage, how do I get more cards in my hand to continue my turn? If you can figure out the answer to that problem, if you can figure out how to get more cards in your hand and cards that you want, right? Like drawing foundations does not help you play out more attacks. This ability is not once per turn. So if I play a move and I discard my hand and it gets +4 damage, and then I pick up an attack and I play it again, I'm allowed to discard my hand again and then draw another card. And then play an attack, and then discard my hand again, and then draw another card. So there's a potential that Raphael can actually just give every move that he plays +4 damage, and then for every attack that he plays, it's also getting scaling speed. So it's like +1 speed, +4 damage, +2 speed, +4 damage, +3 speed, +4 damage, +4 speed, +4 damage. Giving your moves +4, +4, even +2, +4, +3, +4 is really, really good. So you've got a little bit of a mini game to solve when it comes to playing Raphael the Muscle. But if you can solve it, I think this character is going to hit really, really hard and kind of be a menace on turn 2, turn 3. Just coming out, just swinging. Up next, we've got Rocksteady, Easily Angered. 6 hand size, 33 health character. It's got the earth and fire symbols. It says enhance : your charge. Love that keyword. He's a rhino. How do you stop a rhino from charging? Fury or slam attack gets +5 damage, period. Add the top card of your deck to your card pool face down, period. So again, we're seeing a bit of this card pool stuffing identity. I'm adding cards into my card pool. Response: at the end of your combat phase, if you have 6 or more cards in your card pool, flip 1 non-character card in your rival's stage. So pick any foundation, asset, or backup, and you flip it. So if it's foundation, it just goes face down. If it's an asset or backup, you turn it into a foundation. Face down cards in your stage are mandatory to be foundations. So every attack I play gets +5 damage. Very cool. At the low cost of essentially increase the difficulty of my moves after I've played them by 1. Stringing out is going to be difficult. Strings are going to be hard, especially if you want to use this top enhance on every move. Because for every attack that I play an attack, I give it the 5 damage, I stuff one. I then play my next attack, I then stuff another one. Yeah, I put +10 damage on the board, but I did Breaker 2 myself for the entire turn. If I'm able to play a move, or if I'm able to play 3 moves and stuff my card pool 3 times, I think it's selectively flip a thing in their stage. I will say that it is interesting that you're allowed to use this top enhance. Let's walk through it. Your charge, fury, slam attack is +5 damage, period. You do what you can. I've pressed the enhance on my rival's turn. Add the top card of your deck to your card pool face down, period. It would just go in. So my move would get the +5 damage, and there's nothing we can really do about it, and then I would slam the card into my card pool. So if I randomly want a card face down in my card pool during every one of my rival's attacks, I'm allowed to technically press this button and then start pushing things. From here, we've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 4 hand size, 40 health character. Each turtle's got 10 health. It's got 4 symbols. That makes sense. Air, all, fire, and void. The 4 symbols that are unique to each of the brothers. And then 4 keyword descriptors: brawler, champion, inventor, and mutant. Love it. How cool. Love that, love that, love that. Has a static on the character that says, if you check a 3 or less during your turn, you check a 4 instead, period. When this game was invented, the idea of making a control check was very similar to rolling a die. Our checks go from 1 to 6. This character says you can never roll less than a 4. Whether that is, I take the high risk, and on my turn, I put a bunch of 1 checks in my deck, so that when I roll the die and I rip the 1 off the top, this really powerful, potent, incredible card, instead of the 1, which is the punishment, I rolled the 4. Very crazy. Like a crazy thing to do. Or just even taking and changing the math a little bit and saying that you can never check a 3 on your turn ever again totally changes how you build, what attacks you're opting to play. It just changes how you play on your turn so drastically. I think this character is one of the coolest characters that I've seen. His one downside is that he only gets to play with 4 cards every turn. So the puzzle, the mini game that you got to solve is, how do I get more cards, or how do I make these 4 cards as impactful as possible? Because you get bailed out on the check aspect. You're not going to be committing a ton of foundations. So that honestly means maybe if you don't have to play a ton of foundations. I could play way more attacks than normal, because on my turn I'm going to be slinging way more moves. I'm checking 4s. The issue with the character comes on my rival's turn, because it does say when you check a 3 or less during your turn, you check a 4 instead. So on their turn, we're a little soft in the middle. The shell's cracked a bit. I can then check my 1, 2s, and 3s. The dice rolling is no longer rigged in my favor. The fact that this character can't check 3s on your turn, the fact that this character has access to 4 symbols, the fact that this character has 40 health, I think this character is absolutely a character that everybody should be looking at potentially playing. I think there's a lot going on in this character, and that one line of card text, very slick, very simple. I think opens up deck building so incredibly much. One of the characters that I think that I could spend the next 6 months brewing and probably not find everything with. This character's very cool. Talk fire cards. Hell yeah, we're jumping in. First off, Raphael's Size, 0/5, 1 high block, deflect 2 weapon, response, after you discard this card, if you have no assets in your stage, build it. Makes sense to me. And then enhance, sacrifice, if you have no cards in your hand, this deck gets -2 damage. So, a little bit of damage reduction on the board, a little bit of damage reduction in the hand with the deflect 2. It's got a decent 1 high block. All in all, this card's probably fine. I don't think it's going to make the cut in anybody's deck, but it's a 0/5 asset, and so it's probably where it should be, right? It's probably an acceptable spot to exist. I do think this spot of ooze is a little weird. It looks like it's coming out of his mouth. It is a little weird. But all in all, you're good, Elslick. You're good. All in all, this card's probably not going to see any play like whatsoever. I truly, I am bummed what they did to the Turtles' weapons. I think Donnie's got the only good one. Angry Flurry. 5/3, 5 mid for 5, 1 mid block, Frenzy, Fury, weapon. So Frenzy is a blitz that says it gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each attack that has been blocked this turn. And so if you play this late, my rival has blocked a bunch of moves, I'm able to give it like a bunch of extra stats. And then this card says, if you try to play this attack from your remove pile, it gets -3 difficulty. So this could be a 2 difficulty, 5 mid for 5 with Frenzy. Very, very strong if the stars align and you figure out how to get this card removed and you are legally allowed to play it. It is a little interesting. You got to work really hard, but if you find the button and you complete the mini game, this is an incredibly strong payoff for that mini game. Is it worth it? Probably not. From here, we've got Colliding Heads. A 3/3, 3 mid for 0 with a 3 mid block, has the Charge and Fury keywords. Blitz. This deck is damage for each card, each card in each player's card pool. So if I've got 3 cards in my card pool, you've got 2 cards in your card pool. This is a 3 difficulty, 3 mid for 5. That's really strong. Combine that with Raphael's ability to discard your hand for +4 damage. This is going to be a very potent end of string finisher that truly goes for the knockout. This card's going to hit really hard, especially if they interacted with your moves previously. This one's really strong. This one's really, really good. I do love the fact that it is a 3 difficulty that starts at 0 damage, because again, I think 3 difficulty attacks are so scary to balance. They're so scary. So the fact that this one does not feel overwhelming, I think is a big deal. From here, we've got Enough Talk. It is a 5/3, 4 high for 6 with a 1 high block, has the Fury keyword, says Blitz : if this attack was played from your hand, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. You may try to play the attacks removed this way this turn. So if you think all the way back to that Angered Fury or Furied Anger or whatever the card was, that's the way that we find the payoff, right? We play Enough Talk, we remove that card, and then we slam it at the end as a 2 difficulty, 5 for 5. Very, very strong stuff. My biggest thing here with Enough Talk is, because it's a blitz, it's difficult to set up, like, how do I guarantee put cards on top of my deck so that I know that Enough Talk is actually going to trigger correctly and I get the payoff from it. If we can figure out how to get that payoff, I think that I'm in. I think I'm down. I think this card's very cool. It's essentially draw 3 attack cards, which is very strong for a 3/5 4 high for 6. It is good. It is very strong. But I'm a little nervous about how consistent this card is going to be. And even then, like, I mean, this is a 4 high for 10 in Raphael. If we can figure out how to, I mean, we're playing extra attacks from our disc or remove from game pile. Seems pretty good to me. From here, we've got Flurry of Blows. It is a 4/3, 5 low for 3. It is a 1 low block, powerful 3 punch. Response, after you play this attack's powerful ability, it gets +2 speed. So it is a 7 low for 6 minimum as a 4 difficulty by spending 1 momentum. Incredible payoff. So strong. 7 low for 6 for 1 momentum is very, very much worth this 4 difficulty move. I am very into this card. Very strong as a 4 difficulty. It's down to be played way later in the string. So when their math is way worse, and you end on Flurry of Blows as the dunk, feels very strong. I'm so into this one. This one's one of the good ones. Flying Elbow Drop. 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 1 high block. Response, remove. After you discard this card and at least one other card from your hand, you may try to play this card from your remove from game pile this turn, period. Let's talk Raphael, then let's talk the real character this card goes in. Raphael makes this a 4 high for 8 that we are down to get rid of this in order to pump the stats on other cards so that we can play the Flying Elbow from our remove from game pile, and then they become 4 high for 8s also for free. Feels very good. Neat. It also says that if I have this card in my hand, I'm allowed to use Raphael to discard it and grab and I'm allowed to use this 1 high block from my remove from game pile as well, because it just said that you're allowed to try to play this card from your remove from game pile this turn, which is very good. Now let's talk about the real character. The real character that plays this card is Pony. Pony makes this a 4 high for 4 with a 1 high block that you use Pony, discarding 2 cards to redraw 1 card, and then you keep the Flying Elbow removed so that when you run out of gas, you can play the Flying Elbow drops as a 4 high for 4 eventually. I think that this card is very strong inside of Pony. I think this card is very playable inside of Pony. I don't know that I'm playing it this exact second, but maybe if something changes with Pony in the future, I could see Flying Elbow Drop making the cut. But as just a 4 for 4 that essentially is draw an attack card, I'm not sure that I'm in love with this one, right? I will say that it is an extra +1/+1 on Science Bros, which is a big deal. Which is a big deal. I'm down for it. From here, I've got Knockout Punch. It is a 4/3, 4 low for 5. Great stats with a 2 low block. Fury and Punch. Response. After this attack deals damage to a character, your rival loses 1 health for each card in their card pool. So if they've blocked, if I can stick this Knockout Punch, I'm going to burn you for extra, and this burn can kill you. In Raphael, this is a 4 low for 9 that says, here's some additional burn. I love this one. I think this one is super neat. I think it is a high valued card. I think as a rare, I think it's fine to place, especially as a 3 low. One of the big things about this set is there's a ton of low attacks. There are a ton of low attacks inside this set. It is very cool to see that the low zone is getting some real love. Up next, we've got Last Ditch Effort. It is a 4/3, 4 mid for 4, 1 mid block Fury. After you discard 1 or more cards, this deck gets +2 speed. And then Blitz, discard a card, ready 1 foundation. Essentially, this is a 3 difficulty move if you're down to discard a card, in which case it is a 4 mid for 4. I discard the card to ready the foundation. It's now a 6 mid for 4. I use Raphael to discard my hand for, now it is an 8 mid for 8. 8 mid for 8 on a 3 diff is very good. Is very, very good. So as like the ending string, 8 for 8 feels really, really awesome. Love the idea of it, the last ditch effort being 8 for 8 at the very end of the string. Hits hard. Probably going to be a 4 of in this deck. Up next, we've got Raphael's Disregard. 4/3, 4 high for 4 with a 1 high block. Response. After this attack is blocked, it gains Echo, which essentially says spend a momentum. You may play this move again. Feels very good, especially with the character that's actively asking you to discard cards. So this is a 4 high for 8. If they block it, 4 high for 8. Seems pretty good, especially if they partial block, right? So it'd be like 4 high for 8. They still take 4, and then another 4 high for 8. They better have another high block. Seems good. Seems good. Oh, next, we've got Spewing Vitriol. It is a 5/2, 5 low for 5 with a 1 low block. Has the Fury keyword. Blitz, remove the top card of your deck. You may try to play that card this turn, period. And then response card pool. After you play a card from your removed pile, your rival loses 1 health, period. You are allowed to kill them with this. This is where that Flying Elbow is now going to feel very good, right? I have the Flying Elbow. I discarded 2 of them at the same time. And so now it is a 4 high for 4, 4 high for 8 inside of Raphael that also burns them for 1. And another 4 high for 8 that burns them for 1. With this Blitz, it says you can play extra cards from the top of your deck. There's going to be an entire deck that its entire idea is how much burn damage can I find from Spewing Vitriol. I'm here for it. I think this card is really, really neat. A cool build around. Is it worth the 2 check? It really does depend on how much you can play from your remove from game pile. If the answer is a lot, then yeah, it's probably worth the 2 check. Because it's like you get more cards and you're burning them, and then you're playing more cards, and those cards are attack cards, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. It could get out of control pretty quickly, especially if you can figure out how to get 2 of these in your card pool. Spewing Vitriol into Spewing Vitriol says burn 2 every time I play a card. Gets out of control very quickly in this game. Very, very quickly. Watermelon Slice. It is a 5/3, 5 mid for 5 with a 1 mid block. Love the art on this one. Love the camcorder numbers at the top. Has the weapon keyword. Blitz. This deck gets 1 speed and 2 damage. Discard 1 card, period. So it's a 6 mid for 7. That makes you discard a card. Not that big of a deal if you're down to, discard other cards out of your hand for your costs, i.e. Things like Raphael. Like he's going to discard eventually. Discard them all eventually anyways. Feels good, feels okay. Genghis Frog. The Fire Secret Rare is a 5/5 with 5 stamina. It's got a 0 mid block. Elusive ally unique. Elusive unique ally. I'll read them in the correct order. Has a static that says, while this card is in your stage, it will be getting an errata. Your attacks get +3 damage. Currently, as written, this card is active and its ability works while it's face up in your discard pile. That's not how it's gonna work. But your attacks get +3 damage while it exists in the stage. And then response, after this attack, this backup is attacked, your rival loses 3 health. Very cool. Very awesome. And then the fact that like this card being a 5 difficulty is absolutely worth it. This card is so strong. Turning any character into Godzilla that just says all your moves get +3 damage for free. This card is nutso banana sandwich. Man, Pony loves the card, huh? Pony is like probably the best character in the game after this card comes out. It's so good. And then even the response of like after this backup is attacked, your rival loses 3 health. 5 is not a small number. So sometimes it's going to take you 2 attacks to actually deal with Genghis Frog, which is then says burn 6, which is essentially 1.5 unblocked attacks that you had to spend not swinging at me and taking yourself to kill Genghis. This card is so crazy. This card's so cracked. This card's so cracked. It's so cracked. This card is going to be... I think this is the best secret rare of the set. It's either this one or Mondo Gecko. They're so good. This one's so good. This one ends the game. Genghis Frog is here to kill you, dude. He's just trying to kill you. From here, we've got Always Angry. It is a 2/5 without a block, which is interesting. It says, if this card is removed from your deck or your hand this turn, you may try to play it from your removed pile, period. And then Enhance Commit. This attack gets -2 speed, period. So this very much feels like in line with the first Raph Ultra Rare that we had of remove the top 3. You may play attack cards remove this way. This one, Always Angry, says that we are allowed to play other cards this way as well, which is pretty cool. Like, we're allowed to play this one. Dream About Fighting. 1/5 3 mid block form. So while you're not playing an attack card, you're allowed to play this one on your turn, this ability on your turn. Flip the foundation, remove the top card of your deck. If it's an attack, you may try to play it this turn. Again, this one feels a little easier to set up if you can figure out how to stack a card on top of your deck and then utilize the form to then slam it out of your remove from game pile. But setting that up seems pretty tough. Seems kind of difficult to do. From here, we got Full Focus, 2/5, 2 high block, enhance, once per turn, tenacious, discard 1 card, ready this foundation, period. I think this card is going to be all over the place. If there was a singular card that I think could easily be as like a 1 or a 2 of in every single deck moving forward out of the TMNT set, Full Focus could easily take that slot. Discard a card, re-ready a foundation, once per turn, tenacious is so good. It's so good. Like, it is an extra review step. It lets you block things. It lets you play more attack cards on your turn. There's so much that you can do with Full Focus, and we've seen it as a 1/6 in the past, and it was way too good. It was way too good. So the fact that they calmed it down and made it a 2/5 makes total sense to me. This card is still absolutely going to see play. 100% is going to see play. It's so good. This card's very strong. From here, we've got Go In Loud. It is a 2/5, 2 low block, first enhance. So the first enhance that you play during this attack, flip this attack, mine or yours, gets +2 speed.
Wow, these are good cards.
Revy, thank you for the 33 months. I appreciate it. Not a ton to say here about Going Loud. It is certainly just my move hits a little quicker. A little tougher to interact with me. Probably not going to see very much play. It was pretty cool and sealed, but not very good pretty much everywhere else. Up next, I've got Goofing Off. What a pinnacle, what a perfect picture to show off the TMNT. So good. 1/5, 2 mid block. Enhance, flip, colon. Your next check to play a card from your remove from game pile gets +1, period. Feels very good for dreaming about fighting. Not good anywhere else. This card is just draft chaff. I'm so bummed that we wasted this picture for this card. Why is that a first enhance? Because speed is really scary to balance. I think being able to flip like 4 of those all at once seems really spooky. But man, Goofing Off, what a waste of card art for this card. It could have done something so cool. I love this art so bad. I will never sleeve this card ever. What a shame. I'm Awesome. 3/5, 2 low block, enhance, commit, spend 1 momentum, colon, your attack gets +5 damage. Again, Raphael is going to be looking for extra ways to get value out of the pieces on his board rather than from his hand. And so being able to discard your hand for +4 damage, and then I'm Awesome for +5 once my rival has lost all the cards in their hand, says that I can probably end the game in like one big OTK move. But you just got to get there in the first place. From here, we've got Reckless Abandon. 2/5, 2 high block, enhance, tenacious, so playable while committed. Sacrifice, which means destroy it. Add 1 face of foundation from your stage to your hand, period. So I'll destroy this one to pick a different one up. Interesting. I'm not sure that I've seen anything under the fire symbol specifically that, if added to my hand, gets me a ton of value outside of Raphael is down to discard his hand, which means he no longer has blocks, which means Reckless Abandon says destroy this, lose a foundation to then pick up a block for my rival's turn. Pretty much the only thing that I can think tactically works with what this card's got going on. Up next, we've got So Many Regrets. It is a 1/5, 2 mid block. It says enhance, flip. If you have 8 or more attacks in your discard pile, this attack gets -3 damage. Again, Raph really has to get value out of his stage. And so this is essentially a partial block, you could say, from your stage, as long as you've got 8 or more attacks in your discard pile. And because of how Raph is going to be playing, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of attacks in your discard pile, because we constantly want to try and string together these big, long, massive strings.